Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and today in this Unimportant review, we're going over the Playmates Toho Series Godzilla Terrestris from Godzilla's Singular Point. The reason why this is an important review is because we've already done one figure, and it's fairly similar, so doing photos and comparisons. We kind of already did it previously. It's pretty much just new sculpt for this one with the Playmates one. And it's Ernest's wedding tomorrow, and I kind of wanted to get this video done really quick. So, here it is. Also, just realized the camera is off-centered. Still off-centered. Alright, cool. But anyways, main reason I picked this up, looked actually pretty sweet. Then we prefer buying all the Playmates Godzilla figures. But, just looking at it over it, to me, the initial images, like, this thing looks super impressive. So, wanted to get a hold of this. And even grab the Bandai vinyl for some comparisons. But anyways, without further ado, for the packaging, you get the image of Godzilla here from the Toho Series. You get the Terrestris Godzilla, the actual animated picture right there with the anime logo. Same with on the side. Back at the package. Looks so much brighter blue. Like the contrast of this thing is cranked up to the max. And then you got here, after being consumed by fire, Godzilla is transformed into a different species, now capable of rapidly regenerating tissue and even hardening a target area on its body in anticipation of an attack. But anyways, for the actual figure, what we got here is, honestly, after kind of talking about the beginning of the video, probably the best looking Playmates Godzilla they've ever put out. Because the detailing on this thing is like really nice. Especially the tail. Like, my favorite thing about this is the tail. It's got all these hardened edges for the spikes. Going all the way to the very tip of the tail is really nice. Especially on the top there as well. Looks really good. And the same with the red spray. Very accurate. You get the bone colored bumps. Does taper off at the end, but the Bandai vinyl was more or less in the same boat. One thing about the paint job, I can say is a little bit hit and miss, is just like a lot of the Playmates figures, they sit out in the open. They're kind of exposed to the elements, so there's bound to be some paint scuffs and what have you from the packaging. Especially this one has the issue with the tooth here. Is the primary one I've noticed. And then there's like, I think a paint splotch there. Got a nick there in the spikes. Nothing too drastic, like especially for a figure at this price point of about 15 bucks. And it's not bad. It's not that bad. For the rest of the coloring, the backs are done in a metallic silver. None of the red in between the spines, but not anything super uncommon. The Bandai vinyl didn't have the same thing. The only thing I wish is that they are maybe highlighted a little bit better, instead of just being the more traditional Godzilla spines look. And also the way the back spikes are done is definitely a bit different compared to the Bandai vinyl. I'll show you guys in a minute. But I just kind of want to give this guy a little bit of time to shine. And the red comes all the way along the back, comes up to the head, does transition back to the bone coloring right here, which is very similar. Eyes. A bit on the googles. This one's looking down. That one's looking a bit up. And teeth on the front are painted. Teeth on the inside of the mouth, not painted, but still very nicely detailed. Same with the scaling is really nice. Pretty much hard edges throughout, which is something that's kind of like throwing me through a loop with this guy compared to like most other Playmates figures, is he's pretty much a soft material throughout, which I think is really great. Although I will say the tail was a pain in the butt to get on, and it's the only thing you're going to have to attach. But where it connects, this part of the tail is super soft in comparison to the harder section that you had to hook into. So I literally had to use like a screwdriver and pop the thing in. But under section, you get the more sand color for the plating on here. Pretty much, the nails are a little bit of a brighter color. So what's nice is you get a lot of color variety, although I will say I'm kind of sad that they didn't paint the nails. But outside of that, I think paint-wise, that's the only thing that's easily missed. Because this, I can kind of understand the teeth. I can kind of understand. Still will like to see the claws. And then for its articulation, the head can rotate all the way around. Arms can go forward and back. Pretty good range of motion there. Same with the legs, can go forward and back. And the tail can rotate all the way around. Now, actually, for a quick comparison, here's the Bandai vinyl. Which, funny enough, the Playmates is actually bigger than. Especially in the tail. The Playmates definitely has the one-up on this. Primarily, I would say as base detailing, I still say the Bandai vinyl is better because it has the more accurate dorsal spines. And the way the back plating is definitely a lot more accurate to the movie. Or the anime. As you guys can kind of see between the pair. It don't have the ridges along here. And then the more plated section towards the back is definitely a little bit more elongated. But it does have, again, the same thing going on here with the bone color for the spikes that stop off. Although this one actually goes on for much longer. But I really like is the way the tail's set up, because you get a lot more harder edges on the tail here than you did on this. It's got a lot more character to it. But outside of that, actually, the Playmates has the more posable arms, which is really good, because these ones can only really, like, swivel, while these ones you can actually rotate up and down. They're much smaller than this one, though. But it's got the same armor plating on the shoulders here, same with on the legs, the heads. Both are very similar. And to be honest, this one, again, I kind of like the more spiky bit of protrusions. Show up a lot better on it. But I do like the color variety on this. It definitely pops a lot better, and it looks more anime appropriate. This one's a little bit on the duller side, but still fairly serviceable. I got other Playmates down here. I think I took a lot of them upstairs, which kind of makes me sad. But we got the screechy Godzilla hanging out down here. Sorry, my voice is starting to go a bit. Got the monster arts to kind of show next to it. Oh, that actually looks really good. A little bit of a paint job. I think this thing would actually be really stellar. So overall, for my final thoughts, honestly, this is easily the best Playmates figure we've gotten for the Godzilla line. Because for the price point, I say this is better than the Bandai vinyl. Because this is only going to run you about $15. The vinyl, on average, would run you about $30 when it first came out. So double the price to get a hold of it. And honestly, less posable, which is another negative. Again, still a little bit. I'd say overall, the sculpt is a little better. Although I do actually still appreciate that this one's a little bit more stylized, too. Because it's got a bit of a curve to it. While the Bandai vinyl, grabbing it again real quick, is it's very straight. With only real action happening at the tail. While this thing has, like, all the twists and turns. Which I think is actually really sweet. Like, just standing on your shelf, it's got a little bit more going on. And I highly recommend it. Like, this is probably, like, the first Playmates Godzilla figure where I would say, like, out of all the options you could get, that's probably your best one. Because outside of this, there's the Art Spirits. But you're going to be paying quite a bit more to get a hold of that one for a smaller figure, to my understanding. So, if you guys like the anime, probably the best one to pick up for your money. Unless you really, really want something that's a little bit more anime accurate and you maybe didn't want to put more work into it, then I would still suggest the Bandai vinyl. But that still looks really solid to me. But anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of the Playmates Godzilla Terrestris. What's your favorite version of the Ultimate Godzilla? Let us know down there. We also got Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, and Facebook. Guys, like keep up to date with channel donate. We greatly appreciate it. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button. Subscribe, become a ranger today. Also, we already went over that part. Never mind. See you guys next video. Bye-bye. Oops. Forgot your hand pops off easy.